welcome back to Phenomena. This is episode 4. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But I think this is episode 4. I'm your host, Mimi Dibbs, and today we're going to be talking about the Tunguska event, written by our lovely scriptwriter, Angel. Thank you so much. Angel added a phonetic spelling, so it's actually Tunguska. I was saying Tunguska, I think, because it's spelled like it would be pronounced Tunguska, but it's not. Don't be fooled. So I'm wondering what part of the world this even took place in, or what language Tunguska is in, right? I don't know. Yeah, I've never heard about this topic, although it keeps showing up in the list of topics for phenomena that we should cover. So, no time like the present. Let's cover off on the Tunguska event. Goose. I didn't know there were geese in this episode, but you got to be prepared for anything nowadays. Angel did mention, I think, when I saw the email come through with this script, it said, I didn't read the script, obviously, because I cold read all of my scripts, as all you returning viewers know. But I think Angel put in the subject, the terrifying Tunguska event. And now I'm like, what? Another spooky episode? I wonder why it's terrifying. Let's dive right in, shall we? June 30th, 1908. Oh, okay. This is early 1900s, very early 1900s. Reindeer wander near the stony Tunguska River. Evenki? I don't know who Evenki is. Evenki and other Siberian locals are preparing for their day. Around 7:17 a.m., everything changed. Witnesses would later say the sky split in two. Oh, that is terrifying. What? A massive fireball streaked across the sky, then erupted into a flash brighter than the sun. The explosion tore through the taiga forest. Taiga like the rapper? No. The taiga, though that's how it's pronounced, even though it's spelled Taiga. The taiga forest, flattening more than 830 square miles and destroying an estimated 80 million trees. Tunguska event. No. This is crazy. I would think it was like the comet that destroyed the dinosaurs happening all over again. The shockwave threw people meters through the sky, into their homes, and into the surrounding wilderness. Structures were demolished. Entire herds of reindeer were killed. Was Christmas canceled that year? No, not the reindeer. Their remains charred or incinerated. No! That's it. I draw the line. The human casualties are one thing, but the reindeer casualties are too much to handle. Everything within what survivors described as a butterfly-shaped blast zone was reduced to ash. For years, the event lived on only through the oral histories of those who witnessed it until expeditions finally reached the area nearly 2 decades later. This week on Phenomena, we explore the Tunguska event. Ooh, wow. What an intro. What a lead-in. Thank you so much, Angel. That is very fascinating. That is certainly something I would not have... I didn't even know what I was expecting. I certainly wasn't expecting the sky to split in two and a massive fireball to come streaking through the air, but... Here we go. Quick pause for Phenomennouncements. For today's Phenomennouncement, we'd like to shout out RP_artworks. I think his official illustration/art page is RP_illustration. This is an artist that John actually suggested that we shout out for the Phenomennouncements. His artwork is amazing. He is incredibly talented, but I think anyone going on either page of his would have an amazing time just looking through his art, as well as like on the RP_artworks, multiple artworks page. He posts a lot about like other places that he's gone to, whether it's different like art galleries and stuff, and other places that have like, what's the word I'm looking for? Other places that have been an inspiration to him. He's just got he's got a really awesome art style. It's great. So sorry, I had to ask John where he saw his artwork, and apparently saw an artwork at a coffee shop when he was in Arkansas for work. And I asked if he had met him. He hadn't, but he, I think, took a photo of the art piece that really spoke to him. So I'll definitely put it up on the screen for anyone that's interested. Check out both of those pages. Again, that's RP_artworks and RP_illustration. And feel free to give them a follow, because we love supporting art. Art will literally, and art and creativity will usher in the new age. Okay. All right. I saw that on a TikTok the other day, and I agree. Anyway, back to the lore. Decades before nuclear warfare, an event occurred that released 1,000 times more energy than the bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. What? Oh, wow. Okay. This is the Tunguska event that had 1,000 times more energy than the nuclear bombs? That's crazy. No wonder it's a phenomenon. And I wonder if it's a natural phenomenon. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know that this was a thing ever. It scorched the skin of those closest to the blast. It registered a 5.0 magnitude seismic event across Eurasia. Shockwaves were detected as far away as Washington, D.C. Oh my God, so many things. And I didn't even know that this existed. I mean, it happened in 1908, to be fair. So like, who did know? And clearly it was only passed down through oral tradition for a long time. But like that, still, there's a lot here that clearly someone went to investigate the butterfly-shaped blast. And yeah, we're probably just working backwards from there. In the days that followed, the sky itself seemed to change. Wait, that really makes me curious as to whether or not the sky we see today is the same as the sky that people in the 1900s saw. Is that a thing? I feel like I've never had to wonder that, but now I'm wondering it. So thanks, Tunguska. Damn it. Now I'm just going to be curious as to, you know how like with dinosaur bones, you like can't know what color they were or what they looked like. Like we don't know if dinosaurs had fur. We assume they didn't, but maybe they did. I don't know. Archaeological factors don't take into account the like texture, I guess, of dinosaurs. Does that make sense? Like we don't know if they had a mane or any fur anywhere. I don't know. That's crazy. I kind of like fluffy dinosaurs. But anyway. Across Asia and Europe, people reported glowing nights. In England, some claimed they could read their newspapers outdoors in the middle of the night for days after the explosion. That's crazy. The sky was just glowing? That's really crazy. Was it radioactive? This seems like an alien event. This is crazy. No wonder it's been on every list of phenomena because like, what are you talking about? And yet no one knew what had happened. To be fair, I don't know what happened and I'm from the future. At least according to when this happened. It wasn't until 1927 that an expedition led by Leonid Alexeyevich Kulik, what a name, Leonid Alexeyevich Kulik, finally reached the site. The region was so remote that it had taken nearly 20 years to investigate. That's crazy that it happened it happened really remotely, but it was felt all the way to Washington, D.C. Dog, I feel like, did this event cause like Pangea to split apart? I don't know. Oh my God, I'm having so many thoughts. Wow. So many thoughts. Is this what having more than 2 brain cells functioning at one time feels like? That's crazy. What Kulik found raised more questions than answers. Within roughly 20 miles of the epicenter, trees had been flattened in every direction, but there was no impact crater. Oh, weird. That is weird. Unless there was an impact crater and then things fell into it. Like who's to say like it wasn't like a bunch of rubble and other trees? Maybe it doesn't seem like in the 20s they would have the way to like remove big items. Well, maybe they did. When did the Industrial Revolution happen? I don't know. Revolution, not evolution. I guess it was an evolution to a certain extent. The pattern suggested something unusual, an explosion that had occurred above the ground, not on it. I didn't even consider that. So because it didn't leave a crater, that suggests that there was an explosion like while the fireball was coming. Fireball. Do, 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 do. I can't think of that song the same way because I'm training to be an instructor at Airfit Bungee. It's great, but we have a choreography to that song, and that's just all I think of. But anyway, yeah, so the fireball, as it was coming down from the sky, it exploded before it impacted the earth, and this explosion flattened a bunch of trees, but it didn't actually make impact with the ground. Or it didn't make contact with the ground. No large meteorite fragments were ever found. However, investigators did discover microscopic silicate magnet spheres, materials commonly associated with asteroids and comets. Whoa, that's really crazy. I guess it's good that it happened super remotely though. So like, did people die? Wait, I don't remember. Did we say if people died? It happened in a forest. I don't think anyone died as a result, but it threw certain people's meters into the air. That's really insane. I don't think it says anything about whether or not. That's really crazy. That's really crazy. This is crazy. Wow. So yeah. So, okay. Big space explosion hit Eurasia and people saw a bunch of glowing, the sky was glowing for days after. And that's it. That's the whole lore. So I guess with that, let's get into the theories. I'm super interested as to what the theories are because what are you even talking about? What is this? So what could have caused an explosion this powerful with no crater? Number one, asteroid impact. The leading scientific explanation is an asteroid. Okay. See, okay, I do like this explanation. I'm curious as to how or why it would explode. Isn't the theory that like most asteroids, as they go through the ozone layer and stuff, like because of how quickly it's going, it like dissipates before it hits the ground. But for this to have actually still caused an explosion, I don't know. I don't get it. Multiple expeditions and studies support this theory, largely due to the microscopic particles found at the site. Even without a crater, scientists believe the asteroid most likely exploded in the atmosphere before impact and airburst. Oh, I wonder if like the quicker an asteroid is going toward the Earth, the faster, or I wonder if the likelihood of it exploding midair goes up. I don't know. I thought it just like eroded by the time it like got close enough. Or apparently there's like, I don't know. Have you guys ever heard that there's like a bunch of asteroids always hitting the Earth, but they all dissipate before they like get through the ozone layer? I don't know. That's why it's important to have an ozone layer. And that's why it's important to have a layer of some kind between us and space. Because things are flying all about space and the vacuum of space. And so we need like a little like blanket. This one actually made it through and then just ended up exploding in the atmosphere before impact. Some have even suggested the object may have only grazed Earth, releasing its energy before continuing into space. What? Oh. So some people think that it went through the Earth, but wouldn't have had to dip down and then back up? That doesn't make any sense. I don't think I've ever seen asteroids go back up. And I don't think it could have grazed the Earth. I don't know about that. Because like the Earth's not flat, as we know. So with the curvature, it's hard for it to just graze, even if it was going in a straight line. I don't know if that would make sense, especially because of the whole ozone layer thing. Anyway, theory number 2, volcanic gas explosion. Oh, I wonder if this suggests that it's not from outer space at all, but rather from a volcano on the Earth. Another theory suggests the explosion came from beneath the surface. Certain volcanic rocks, the kimberlite, what's kimberlite? Ooh, I like it. I like the name of it. Can trap large amounts of gas underground. If that gas were suddenly released, it could create massive outward explosion. Interesting. But then why would the sky be glowing after if that was the case? I don't know. Theory number 3, Tesla's death ray. And then things get a little stranger. Some believe that the Tunguska event was the result of an experiment by Nikola Tesla. According to this theory, Tesla was testing a wireless energy weapon, sometimes referred to as a death ray, from his Wardenclyffe Tower in New York. Oh no, what? The idea is that he intended to target the Arctic, but instead struck Siberia. With a death ray? What did Nikola Tesla have against Siberia? The Arctic. What did he have against the Arctic? Rude and probably unlikely. I don't know. I don't know about that one. That seems very out of the blue. Theory number 4, UFO crash. Then there's an obligatory explanation, a UFO. That's kind of what I was thinking at first, because it came from space. I don't know. That's weird. Some believe an alien craft either exploded or crash landed over Tunguska, possibly destroying itself in the process. Ooh, interesting. That is very weird. I guess that's crazy that it happened in 1908 and in a remote area because like not a lot of people, I think like the people that did see it or anyone that could have like documented it didn't really have the tools probably to document it, it sounds like, since it was passed down through oral retelling of the event. So that's crazy because like I'm really curious. Obviously, if it happened more recently or even at the time when we could like measure things like radiation and stuff, I think we'd have more insight into like what caused like the glowing. I don't know why the sky glowing thing is still on my mind, but that's like the weirdest part is like this explosion happened. A bunch of trees were flattened. There's a butterfly shaped crater that it caused, even though there is no, well, no, not crater, but I guess crash site in a way, but with no crater, which is bizarre. And then the fact that like the sky was glowing for days later, like that seems really bizarre. That's what makes me wonder if it's like radioactive. And then radioactive stuff just reminds me of like aliens. I don't know. Even though obviously I guess it was suggested to be similar / way more powerful than even the atomic bomb. But I wonder if that had anything to do with like radiation in that same capacity. I don't know. Number 5, primordial black hole. Hate it. Hate this theory. I don't like it. I don't even want to read it. In 1973, a team of physicists from the University of Texas proposed another possibility, primordial black hole passing through Earth. Nope. Actually, you know what? I'm good. Actually, I'm going to pretend that I didn't read it. If you're interested in learning more about black holes, check out our black holes episode, and I will never be talking about it ever again because I hate it and I get existential dread up the wazoo about it. I really don't like it. I don't like it at all. And if you do, then that's great. And I'm so happy for you, but I will not be discussing this any further. Whatever. Black holes aren't real, she tells herself. Anyway, theory number 6, local belief. Agdi, the god of fire. Before scientists arrived, local Evenki people. Oh, Evenki was a type of people. Local Evenki people, or a place. Evenki people had their own explanation. They believe the explosion was caused by Agdi or Agdi, but I think it's Agdi because it's with a Y. Sometimes called Ogdi, the old man, in quotes. A god of thunder and fire who came to punish them and claim a sacrifice. Oh no, not the god needing a sacrifice. That's terrifying. And also, like, did it sacrifice anyone? I think the jury's still out on that. I don't know. That's crazy. Out of these theories, which one is the one that I think is most likely to happen, to have happened? I feel like asteroid impact makes sense to me. The volcanic eruption, or like the fact that maybe the explosion happened from the ground up. I don't know how that would explain the fireball that people say who knows how much of the oral story was like embellished over the years of retellings, but if it is to be believed that there was a fireball in the sky, either there was an explosion from like the volcanic pressure or whatever. So that's my number 2, which I guess makes sense as to why it's the second theory on the list. And the number 1, yeah, I think the asteroid impact makes the most sense, but having it have blown up midair so that it caused the flattening of trees without causing a crater, I think that makes the most sense. It's really crazy because that's really scary that there even was an asteroid that was able to make it that far. And like, thankfully there weren't really many people around, seeing as it was super remote, it seems like. But that is really scary that happened. And like, could it happen again? I don't know. And that's really wild. I don't like it. I don't like thinking that we're just on a floating rock in the middle of the space, of the vacuum. And we're just like, do. And then there's things that are just like all over the place. It stresses me out. But wow, I didn't realize it was going to be a kind of a celestial episode. So not so much spooky in the sense of like, I mean, I guess kind of scary more of as an existential dread thing, as not like scary, like paranormal. So in closing, the object behind the Tunguska event is estimated to have been around 50 to 80 meters wide, exploding in an airburst roughly 3 to 6 miles above the Earth, which makes me think it came down from space into the atmosphere as opposed to down and then up. Especially like, wouldn't you see a crater of some kind if theoretically? I don't know. But okay, so that's good to know. That's just kind of what is estimated. For comparison, in 2013, Chelyabinsk, what a word, meteor measured only about 18 to 20 meters and exploded high above the city. So asteroids have exploded midair before? I guess it makes sense. I guess maybe some asteroids explode with like the airburst thing versus it eroding by the time it comes down to the Earth, but I don't know. So, but if asteroids are known to explode, then I feel like that adds even more credibility to this potentially being an asteroid. Even at that size, the blast damaged more than 7,200 buildings and injured more than 1,500 people. Oh no, what? The shockwave shattered windows across hundreds of square miles. That is insane. Shockwaves are crazy. This is crazy. That's an explosion. That is really scary. The like sky can just explode one day. Great. Add that to the list of things we should fear. On October 27th, 2025, a bright green, slow-moving comet was seen streaking across the sky over Moscow. What? What is this? What is this new thing? Oh no. The reality is the sky is capable of throwing fireballs at us at any moment. Yeah, Yep. Thanks for adding to the existential dread, Angel. Appreciate you. That's why June 30th, the anniversary of the Tunguska, is recognized by the United Nations as Asteroid Day. Oh my God, June 30th, Asteroid Day. Mark your calendars. A day to raise awareness and ask a very real question. What happens if the next one doesn't miss? Yeah, thank you for putting into words my fears. Okay. Good luck, I guess, not living in fear of another Tunguska event. That's crazy. Why is it called Tunguska? I'm curious. Programs like NASA's Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART, are designed to answer that question by testing whether we can actually deflect an asteroid before it reaches Earth. Oh, okay. I'm glad NASA's working on it, but then that also just solidifies that it is a very real problem that we might need to face at some point, and that really just makes me crash out real hard about it. But I kind of like the idea that we have like a little trampoline in place, like boop, boop, and then yay, nobody's hurt. Because if the Tunguska event were to happen over NYC, Los Angeles, Chicago, Moscow, Tokyo, Paris, or even a remote island with only penguins, not the penguins, the devastation would be world-ending for the victims. Yeah, and potentially the world. That's crazy. That's crazy. It definitely is a phenomenon considering it hasn't happened since, right? At least to this scale. And then the fact that it happened in 1908, no one was able to like record it or get a good idea of exactly what happened. Wow. Well, now we know. Not the Tunguska event. Let's not have a 2.0 of this. Like, I think the Tunguska event did not want to become Instagram famous because it happened in 1908. So it very clearly wanted not to be known. Maybe it's supposed to just be like a celestial kind of thing, and only the people that saw it were allowed to see it. I don't know. That's really crazy. Let me know if you've ever heard of the Tunguska event or what you think is the most probable thing that happened or caused it. Because what? I'm still curious whether or not the glowing sky was as a result of like any sort of radiation. And if so, that's really crazy. That's really crazy. Because if you think about it, like, what if like we dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki? What if like another planet, what if that was their bomb? Or they tried to, you know what I mean? Oh my God, that's so scary. Wow, this is really gonna live in my head rent free now. Anyway, to pivot to happier news, we have an Expedia affiliate link. What better time to push people to travel than now, when you don't know if when the next Tunguska event is gonna happen? So you might as well go travel and see everything. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know if there's going to be animals that are going to go extinct or anything. Like, go see some polar bears, even though they're really scary. I'm listening to this podcast called Tooth and Claw. It's very, very good. Highly recommend. And I listened to one about polar bears, and polar bears can be like 800 to 1,000 pounds. Did you know that? That's insane and also crazy. But yeah, go literally use it to go anywhere, but definitely to, what is it, Siberia? Where this happened. It's expedia.com/affiliate/phenomena/season 6 to book your next trip. So be sure to use our season 6 link and use it to book it to go anywhere. Go anywhere. Go explore while the world is still here. Okay. The pokepic for this week's episode. Pokepic is Deaxys. Deaxys, the DNA Pokemon. This is a more new gen Pokemon, and it looks like a bunch of wires put together into a humanoid figure, as far as I remember. Great. Like, this would be a really cool and strange, like, drag outfit if someone just put a bunch of wires on them and just like, I don't know. She's giving queen vibes. Pokedex entry. The DNA of a space virus underwent a sudden mutation upon exposure to a laser beam and resulted in Deaxys. It's spelled like Dioxys, and that's how I want to say it. Or is it, it's Deoxys. Deoxys. The crystalline organ on this Pokemon's chest appears to be its brain. Its brain is in its chest? That's wild. I guess that's kind of like people when we think with our hearts. Yeah. Hell yeah. Retweet. That's deep. That's crazy. That is a really good Pokemon because it's very like outer space and like, I don't know, it has laser beam, which some people think it might have been what it was with Nikola Tesla involved and whatnot. And yeah, wow. There you go. Maybe that was Deoxys. That's how Deoxys came to Earth and to the Pokeverse is via the Tunguska asteroid that disappeared. And then Deoxys was able to just like bloop. And then, assuming Deoxys is real. What if it's like I'm a staunch believer that Pokemon are real? They're real. They're real, all right. Just believe in them, okay? And that's my religion, okay? Pokemon is my religion. I love it. Yeah, we have an email, phenomena.cases@gmail.com. Feel free to email us with any and all questions or suggestions, or if you have any personal stories, if you've ever seen a comet or an asteroid or this weird green light that apparently happened at some point in 2025, or any other weird celestial things, let us know. And email us your personal stories because we need more for Phenomena episodes. We also have a Patreon where you could show your support if you like the podcast. We have a free tier, a $2 tier, and a $5 tier. And we have a Discord pin to the top of the Patreon. And it's great and awesome. And you should check it out. And I've been really bad about posting on Discord. Yikes, oopsies. I will do that. But I've been pretty good at posting on Patreon, so there is that, and I feel very proud. Also, last week's episode, I mentioned our amazing team, which again is Jodel, Ruben, Angel, John Suarez as our new cryptid writer. It used to be Griffin, now it's John Suarez. We have Merrick's, who is our video editor, and then Ashley. Ashley is our incredible social media reels coordinator and just like social media coordinator in general. She is incredible. She is the reason that we have reels going to this day. Truly, I do not know what I would do without her. So thank you so much, Ashley. You are the best. I love you so, so much. And yeah, I'll shout her out for one of these Phenomennouncements because I think she just started to kind of start posting. So yeah, she's awesome. She's a great follow. I'll mention her in the next Phenomennouncements for sure. But yeah, I did want to mention her out loud as well because she is a very core part of the team. And when I was shouting everyone out last episode, I was thinking like of just the like immediate like script writers and video editors and stuff. But obviously she is just as, if not more important than all of that. So wanted to do my due diligence and shout her out. New episodes come out every Wednesday at 6 p.m. PST. And next time on Phenomena, we'll be talking about premonitions. Ooh, this is that's so Raven coded. Premonitions. When she's like, that's so Raven. Yeah, definitely tune in for next week's episode because that'll be fun. I wonder if we're going to talk about psychics or if some people have the gift to see into the future. Is it only the future? Is it the past? Or is it any time at any point? That's crazy. But yeah, definitely, I'm excited to learn more. And remember, you can always explore the rabbit hole without falling all the way down, okay? Stay vigilant. Don't go down any sort of rabbit hole, conspiracy theory rabbit hole. We don't do conspiracy theories. We only deal in facts. And even when facts are lacking, we are okay being in the nebulous unknown. So thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. Bye.